Hello YouTube, bringing you more of the odd and unusual. And today's gun definitely counts as odd and unusual. And this is a Winchester Model 94 Trapper Carbine Takedown. Now some of you collectors out there saying, wait a second, Winchester never made a carbine takedown. You are right. This gun was customized. This is the difference between a custom rifle and a Bubba rifle. This gun was made in 1964. I don't know when it was done, but as you can see as I get closer, you are right, that is a takedown. This gun was made into a takedown some point in time in its life, a long time ago. And how that works is, most of your rifles, your Winchester rifles with a magazine tube, had a way where it would screw out. The magazine tube would come forward, and then the gun would twist off the frame, the barrel, the forearm, and the entire front action. This one was done differently. As you can see, there's a button here, and you can see the way it was inletted into that forward barrel band. And even that barrel band itself was changed, because the Model 94, after a certain time, the barrel band was behind the front sight. So someone cut the back barrel down to 16 inches, and boy, I love a trapper. I always have. But original trappers are very expensive, thousands of dollars now if you get a pre-64 earlier gun. And whoever did it really dovetailed that sight in there. And then and a couple other things they did is, if you noticed here on the bands, they added another screw here. They added a set screw to help keep those bands in place, and it really helps stiffen things up. So what I'll do here is I'll take this down really quickly. It's kind of hard to do this. What I'll do is I'll take it down and I'll show you how it was done. Okay, and there you go. There's the gist of it. What you do, you push that little notch forward, magazine tube comes forward, you slide the action counterclockwise, turn it, and it comes right off the frame. And I've talked to a couple of gunsmiths about how much this would cost to do now. And I've heard anywhere between, on top of the cost of the gun, just the takedown alone, not the rest of the work, just the takedown, not even cutting the barrel and everything else, anywhere between $1,000 and $1,500 to do the machining work necessary to do what this had done to it. You can see it's well done. This is not Bubba in the basement type work. This is what a real custom gun looks like. Now to some people, gee, it's only a Model 94 Winchester. This is still custom work. And the only thing is this is at 25 yards. And if anyone has ever shot you can see where the three circles are. That is the 3-shot group once I got it sighted in. A takedown rifle tends to be less accurate than a solid frame, especially in lever actions. It's one of the reasons why takedown guns, you see so few of them. They were a really nice idea. They were a great compact gun. But the problem is, of course, they were just not as accurate as a solid frame gun. And a good Model 94 carbine, you're talking at 25 yards, open sights, 1-inch group, 1.5. Usually about a 1-inch group if you can really get a good one. So this really isn't bad. I noticed after a couple more rounds, a couple other group sizes, once the gun warmed up, even after letting it cool off, the groups kind of got bigger. The other issue is with the bands. These bands here tend to really screw with accuracy on these carbines, either if they're loose or they're tight. So having those other set screws in there, whoever did it really seemed to know what they're doing. This gun's got a wonderful trigger. I do think the trigger has been lightened a bit. I have the mainspring tightened up as much as it can be, and it's got a really nice trigger. It's not overly it's not a hair trigger, but it's light. So somebody did some work on the trigger, and it's a wonderful shooting gun. I will say, if you've never shot one of these little trappers like this, you start to get these little short 30-30s, and these guns can get educational. I'm glad whoever did it put a rubber. You wouldn't think a 30-30 could kick. I'm telling you right now, this gun is snappy. This gun's got a bit of a snap to it, but it's still a wonderful shooting gun. But it's a good example of what some of these odd and unusual guns you can find out there, and this is one of them. I've got a video I'm going to put up. I was busting some clay targets with it out 25 yards. It does that nicely. So for deer rifle, out to 100, 150 yards. I've talked to a couple guys about putting a receiver sight on this, but because it's a takedown, you don't have the two front and back lining up perfectly. You know, not every single time you take it down. I'm looking at a case for this because this was a good, and folks, I got this gun relatively cheap because even though all this work has been done to it, it's still a Model 94 carbine, post 64. But it's just a wonderful example of what you would see some of this old-time gunsmithing. You're not going to see anybody do this now unless you're going to willing to pay big money to have it done. So that being said, YouTube, I'll get these up there and hopefully get a quick video of this thing busting a couple of targets, or at least a clay target. And with that being said, have a good day. And I hope to get some hand loads into this. I'll see if my hand loads will help shrink these groups some. Have a good day, YouTube.